Chapter 3. Battery. Battery is defined as an intentional harmful or offensive contact with another person. To repeat, a battery is an intentional act that causes a harmful or offensive touching. Let's discuss the elements of battery in more detail. First off, harmful or offensive contact is any contact that society considers offensive, or in other words, any contact that would be offensive to a reasonable person. For instance, kissing a stranger without their permission is an offensive act and can constitute battery. Also, if a surgeon operates on the wrong body part, that can be considered a battery. Meanwhile, tapping a stranger on the shoulder to get his attention would not be a battery because it is socially acceptable contact. Note, however, that if someone is aware that an individual has a certain sensitivity to being touched, contact with that individual's sensitive area can be considered an offensive touching. For example, Jill knows that Jack hates being touched on the shoulder, and she taps him on the shoulder. In this case, even though tapping on the shoulder is socially acceptable contact, Jill may have committed a battery because she knew Jack had a supersensitivity. Note that battery does not require the defendant to personally touch the victim's body. A battery will occur when there has been any physical contact, including indirect contact. This can occur when the defendant causes an object to hit the victim, like throwing a rock through the air or hitting someone with a car. Battery can also occur when the defendant makes contact with anything connected to the victim, like knocking a hat off someone's head or snatching a book out of their hands. Note that in order for the tort of battery to occur, the wrongdoer must act voluntarily. For instance, if a person slaps a stranger while having a seizure, no battery has occurred because the person was unable to control their movements and did not act voluntarily. Lastly in this chapter, remember that battery requires intent. For an example, a street performer is breakdancing on the sidewalk and a child runs up to the dancer. Before noticing the child, the dancer kicks the child while dancing. In this case, although there was a harmful contact with the child, there is no battery because the performer did not intend to cause the harm. In this chapter, we discussed the intentional tort of battery, which is a harmful or offensive contact with another person. In the next chapter, we will discuss assault.